evening.
Well,
I am Luning, host Luning, and tonight I am special guest hosting
Luning.
with at the Wee Dram with Gordon, with my good friend Gordy.
I'll be Benedict. I'm Ben.
No, you are. I know you with Gordy.
I know you.
And tonight we have the Lagavulin.
If you do not like the smoky,
Stay away from this.
This is not for you.
Well, Gordy, I'm happy to be here with you tonight at the Wee Dram. Thank you for the invite. Very nice.
No, thank you, Horst, for being here. You're one of my inspirations and idols.
Oh, Gordy, that is very kind. So let us get to the scotch at hand. Okay, anyway, yes.
Yes.
Good
Welcome.
day and welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
2019. Happy 2019.
And to you.
That was a beautiful one.
Beautiful.
And a beautiful scotch.
Way to
start off
bring
the new
in
year.
the new year.
Bring it in.
I
I like it.
Horst, what do you think?
Well, if you've listened to my my previous episode on the Lagavulin 16, you'll know that it's a very special scotch. Very special. And yeah, this is I mean, everybody should bring in the new year with the Lagavulin 16.
Right, or a fine spirit of whatever you're choosing as.
Yeah, Lagavulin 16.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Yes.
Hey, I liked how you said everybody should at least try this.
Exactly.
And I think you're bang on there. You know, it is a special thing because it's not, as far as my memory goes, because again, you know, I haven't actually tasted it yet tonight. It's got a little bit of the Isla, it's got the earthy, it's got all these different tones going on there, and it's so special. And it's not something that you can just specifically say is Isla I mean, it is. It's quintessentially Isla.
Yeah.
But there's more to it than that, you know? If you compare it to like a Lafroig, which is so much more earthy, it's way more of a peat bomb as opposed to the sherry bombs, right? What a beauty. I'm gonna start to smell this. So here we go. The flyby.
Well, and that's one thing I noticed. You can't even bring the glass near your nostrils. Like, it's a good foot away and you're already picking up its essence, which is great because it's so distinctive and it's not attacking you or overwhelming you when you inhale the bouquet. It just, it's giving you a lot.
It's a lot there. I'm picking up like a heavy iodine scent, but it's sweet somehow. It's got a bit of a like a sugary balance to that medicinal kind of overtone. But it is very well balanced.
Yeah.
It's very smooth and velvety even on the nose.
I don't get the sweetness, but I certainly get I think what it is it's the iodine without it being too intense.
Yeah.
You know, and that,
yeah, I think that's maybe what I meant. It's more of a mellowed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to, like, it gives a lot. But without burning you out or powering you out or anything. It's just beautiful to smell. And
it's a soft smell though, no?
It is.
It's if a smell could be velvety, it would be velvety to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it's a very smooth smell.
Well, and do you get kelp or seaweed? Do you?
Oh yeah, for
And
sure. There's a sea business going on.
Yeah,
there.
kind of a salt, seaweed, and I think for me that mellows out that iodine, or it is that iodine, but it's presented in a way that it's very, very lovely on the
Kelpy.
bouquet.
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah, because kelp also conjures up some of the texture of sort of softness and suppleness and in a kind of giving thing, you know?
Yeah.
And also a living thing, something very alive and very complex in that way. You know, it's not a stagnant smell. It's something that is constantly changing and keeping your attention. Like, you can smell this and knows this and be completely happy just sitting here for 20 minutes doing this.
Maybe not completely. But it does remind me of kind of the beaches around here, you know?
Yeah.
Where sometimes all that kelp and that seaweed kind of comes in, and it's a very beachy, tidal smell.
Tidal, kelp, seaweed, wood, peat.
It's not a smell that I did before smelling it. I didn't think it would smell exactly like that. You know, that wasn't the smell that I was expecting.
Were you expecting something like Lafroig then?
Maybe a little more Lafroig, but I know from past experience it's definitely not.
It's
a
definitely
smell.
because the burnt wood isn't there. You know,
Yeah.
there's no char. There's no
campfire business.
No.
No.
It's different type of wood, different type of peat.
Yeah, it is a beautiful color too, and that is for me that's the biggest knock. Other than you can't just give this. You have to give it a 5. But the color does knock against it, and the price too. But it is one of those scotches that overrides this color. Who cares? It has so much good flavor, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the price, well, you just, if you can get it at duty free, or even not, every once in a while, you're probably just going to want to go out and get
Or
something
yeah,
like
or
this.
these discussions of Costco in the United States.
Yeah.
And, $56 US to have 750 milliliters of it. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we got it for 52.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Add 20% to that, and you're still in great shape.
Yeah, it's like 2+ bottles.
Right.
Right, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And you gotta do it then. And then if you go down there and you're there for any length of time, you get yourself 2 bottles and you just treat yourself. You're on a vacation, drink the Lagavulin straight through.
Yeah.
If you can get it for that price, there's no need. Don't even mess around. You're gonna just be happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna taste it.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. You're holding one in your mouth. You jumped the gun, but you've already had it. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Wow. I was doing the swish around like horse too. I was going to follow up with that. Wow, and you taste the peat there. That is that back end on peat is a really refined peat. I've never, it's almost like no other peat. It's not really like Lafroig at all.
No.
It's there's something else going on there. It is so good.
Yeah, it has a bit of burn on the tongue, but nothing disturbing. It's almost like it's like you want a little tiny, that kind of intensity, but it doesn't. That's not all you're focusing on, and it's not like you need to work through the burn to get to something because it's already lovely. Like everything's already happening. I love it. I love it when it's on the tongue, and I love it when I swallow it. And my favorite thing about Lagavulin 16 is the finish.
Yeah,
it is absolutely.
It's there.
The best.
It's
finish,
all around.
The most complex. It is a paragraph. It is a continuation. It's like the book has ended and suddenly there's a hidden page and it just keeps giving you good stuff. It's really cool.
It stays with you.
Yeah.
And the last few times that I've had this, I've noticed that it has quite a bit of a spicy bit at the back end too. Mm-hmm. It's peppery and it's fiery.
Yeah.
Almost like the Talisker would be how I would describe that. So it's got a little bit of to me it's a marriage almost between the Lafroig a little bit and the Talisker a little bit. It's like the best of both worlds because it's got that strengthy
it would
peat,
be like,
it's got the sea, it's got the pepper.
But you would have to throw in like a Kalila to mellow it all out. Because the Talisker and the Lafroig are just so intense. And the Lagavulin 16 isn't like that intense. It escapes that intensity. It's like it takes the characteristics of each of those things and somehow is above them in a way that like your senses don't get overwhelmed at all. Whereas
No, but it is strong.
Oh yeah, it is. It is strong, but it's not. It has. I don't even know how to explain why it's so good and why the quality is what it is. I just think that every part of it is expressive from the nose to the beginning to the middle to the end to the finish. Each of those chapters speak well and allow me to completely interact at every stage in a way that I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm just completely, I don't know, enthralled with it. Like I just love it.
Yeah, it's very warm. It's comforting. It's like comfort food, comfort scotch. There's nothing bad about it. Warms you up. It's an anytime scotch too. Maybe you could. That's speaking to the power of it. Maybe the strength isn't as big, but it's still got overall warmth and body. It's all encompassing as far as the drink goes. It's warm. I keep thinking warm. Like it warms you up. Mm-hmm. But do you agree with the peppery business though?
Yes.
And I would say maybe heat. Maybe that's where I'm getting the warmth
and
from.
I get that on the back of my tongue. I get that on
It's
the back
quite
of my
pleasant,
tongue.
isn't it?
Yeah, and especially if I swish or work the taste. If I'm pulling oxygen in and out and and sipping and letting it roll up and down the tongue, a few times before letting it go down the throat, that's when I experience the heat on the tongue, when I hold it. A little less so if I'm just doing a straight sip.
Yeah, if there was ever a scotch where you should keep it in your mouth for a while, this is the one, right? There's so much there. There's so much going on. It's a long, epic story.
Oh, and that finish rises up into the top of my mouth and kind of coats a little bit on my cheeks, and
you can feel it
still
on the gums.
sits on my tongue and right in my gums, and
Stings a little bit around the edge.
A little tiny bit, but more like
a pleasant sting.
Yeah, it's more like it just doesn't want to let go.
Yeah,
I love that.
Oh, it's beautiful. It really is. Wow. You can talk all night about how awesome it is.
Yeah, because it's that awesome.
It is at 5, and it's great. It's finally the 5 stars.
A legitimate 5-star whiskey. Yeah, and it's good to not give it out liberally. Like, you could say every single malt in its own way is sort of like a 5-star drink, and there's all sorts of them that are just so totally enjoyable. But this separates itself out. This is excellence. This is the nectar of the gods.
Yeah, and it's funny because I see not a lot of it, but I've seen it here and there in movies, and I've heard stars talk about it. A lot of actors like it. That
one guy, the guy from Parks and Recreation. I don't know.
What is his name? I'm not sure what his name is.
With the mustache, and he's like a man's man.
Yeah.
And he's even got like a thing where he's just drinking Lagavulin 16 for Nick Offerman.
There you go.
Is it?
That's it.
Yeah. He's like a huge proponent, and he's become the symbol of manly manness, drinking the best drink of all type thing. And I appreciate that. It's a little dangerous. It's kind of carbon.
What's dangerous?
Well, it's carbon copy-ish. I think there's more to this whiskey than just that. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It's great that he's personified the best of this whiskey, and I love it. But I think in some ways that almost puts a frame around it that it doesn't deserve. Like, does that make some sense? Because it can do so many. Like, this is a whiskey you could drink on a boat in the summertime. This is a whiskey that I'm sure women would enjoy, and I'm sure women do. And I'm trying to think of some women I've drank it with, but I don't off the top of my head. But you know what I'm getting at. It's not a gendered thing. It's not a masculine thing. It's not a gentleman's thing.
No, not at all.
It's not a fireside winter thing. Although it
can be.
It very much
every situation. It's a good pre-dinner drink and after-dinner drink. Mm-hmm. It's everything. People that seem to really like Scotch know that Lagavulin is one of your benchmarkers that's out there, right?
Yeah.
It's anybody who, even those people that may not particularly like it, will say that is a really good Scotch. It's doing something so well on so many levels.
Yes.
It just works, and you've got to have it in your bar. You've got to.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a must-have whiskey. It's the kind of whiskey when you get down to the bottom quarter, you should probably have another one ready to go.
Yeah, because and all the flavors that we were talking about that that present themselves in this drink, they kind of represent a lot of different things. So if you were trying to get regional, this one would, I think, encompass a lot of different flavors outside of the mainland.
Outside of Islay, or
outside of Islay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because even like the fact that it's one of those, and I know this is the classic malts produced by the company that actually owns them all.
Yeah.
So they're picking their favorites. Mm-hmm. But it really is, and I think that was one of the things that we were talking about when we got it too. We wanted to get all these classic malts. We wanted to try them from all the different regions, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's a smart starter set. It makes a lot of sense the way they have them laid out.
They do have Talisker in here, though.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Dalwhinnie.
Which is
like another one of our favorites lately.
Great whiskey.
Oh,
yeah.
So good. Auban, we haven't cracked
well,
that
we
one
have
yet,
a Little
but there's
Bay.
A different one. Little Bay is, interesting. I'm looking forward to that one. The Glenkinchie. The Cragganmore, I would like to try that again because one point I liked it and another point I didn't like it. And the Glenkinchie always kind of sucked for me.
Yeah.
But, hey, I'd be willing to try it
again. I think it's important to try it again. And the more you drink whiskeys, the more that even whiskeys that you thought were marginal can have a place.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
It's so
Now,
good.
I have to maybe take issue with the idea that Lagavulin represents or has flavors that encompass many parts of Scotland. It goes beyond Islay in terms of its flavors.
It's got a little bit of the Lafroig. It's got a little bit of the Talisker. You can taste even a little bit of the Ladag in there. At least the essence of where those
Lachig?
scotches are coming from. Yeah, Lachig. It's a good representation of like that whole region. If you had to draw 4 circles around Scotland, and you had to include like the best, well, kind of like the classic malts.
Yeah, its flavors and its characteristics are unique to Islay and are sort of quintessential Islay. And it makes the argument for itself that it is the quintessential Islay whiskey. And I mean, for me personally, the only one that maybe pushes that around is Lafroig, but it's 2 different types of quintessential. It's like saying, you know, whatever. I mean, how do you even begin to say that? It's like to say that, you know, Ontario and Quebec they're each provinces in Canada that are really important, but, you know, they're very different, but yet still important to what makes up Canada. I don't know if that's a fair metaphor or not.
No, I hear you.
Well, you know, what I'm trying to say is they're very different, but yet they are still essentially quintessential. You know, they are the quintessential whiskeys from Islay, and it's the peat that binds them. They each have that characteristic in common on the Venn diagram.
Yeah.
And then outside, they each possess a set of different characteristics that allow you to differentiate the 2.
Yes, but that's why I would throw Talisker in there too, which is why they're different, but that's why this one, I think, because of the smoke, because of the, what is the word I'm looking for? Because of the spicy, more of the sea angle, which is definitely something Lagavulin has, it sort of brings in the Talisker. That's why I say those 2 are, it's kind of like, well, you could throw in the Kalila too.
Kalila, yeah.
The Kalila, but at the same time, do you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
It's got the spicy kick in the sea
Yes.
that the Lafroig doesn't have. And it's got the peat and the smoke that Talisker doesn't have, right? But it's got those, that's why it's such a good blend.
Yeah.
It's got and those are the flavors that I crave and I look for. And if I see that written on a box, I'm gonna fall for it. You know, I'm gonna go up and buy it just to check that out to make sure if that's, you know, they're being honest about it. You know, that's what I like in a Scotch, and it's got everything.
Totally.
Absolutely everything.
Yeah. What do you think of this in terms of mouthfeel?
Well, 43%. I think it's got some pretty good oiliness to it. It's thick. It feels good in the mouth, and that's a testament to the way it covers the mouth, the way it tingles, the way it goes down, it swishes in there. It's very oily.
Yeah, I think it might lack a bit of density or viscosity, like relative to some that I've had, but it's not. It's still pretty awesome in its own way. But I would say that, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say exactly, other than it's not as full-bodied or as full-on as maybe some of the single malts.
Okay, so give me another one that has better mouthfeel. If we're just talking viscosity.
No, but better, but more mouthfeel.
More mouthfeel, more oily.
Probably the Talisker.
You think the Talisker?
Yeah.
Oh, is that bringing us into the next segment?
But we don't.
We don't have.
No, we can only use the Talisker Storm, but that's not fair.
Okay, so let's just take a second.
I don't know.
Don't say anything yet.
Don't say anything
because we are going to move into the next segment. I just want to have a quick look up there. I don't have it all in here. I just want to have a look. Let's take 30 seconds and see if you can. Should you try for 2?
No, we don't do 2.
Oh, the Talisker isn't open, is it?
No, we can't have it. That's the problem.
We can't have it. I hate the way you say it like that.
I think we're going to the Lafroig 10.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
unless it's the Kilhoman or the Kalila, which I also would accept. Maybe even.
You know what? Should we do a head-to-head with the Lafroig 10, because that can get dangerous. That's going to get in some really interesting Scotch topics. Maybe we should do that.
I think the only other one, like I say, it's really between the Kalila, the Lafroig 10.
And the Kilhoman.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, you didn't give the Kilhoman as good a marks as I.
No, I gave it a 4. But I mean,
which is great.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
And I still think in 10 years, and we've only had one of the Kilhomans. There's others out there.
There's lots.
Yeah.
Lots of try.
Comparison. Scotch.
All right. So after much deliberation, we
Yes.
thought we'd go big time. I mean, it's the new year. We're going to go into the 10. We're going to do Lafroig 10. That is going to be the comparison scotch.
Comparison scotch.
It's
of
a
the
big
evening.
night.
Yes, it is.
It's huge.
Huge. We
All right.
have arguably 2 5-star whiskeys going head to head. Not going head to head, but in some
why
ways they
not?
are going head to head.
Yeah, don't be afraid to say
Don't be
it.
afraid to battle. It's okay. Ooh, hello.
Yeah, it's still good.
We're good there, yeah. The paler, stronger.
Is that about right?
Looks good to me.
Oh, yeah.
No, here's the Lafroig.
It's the Lafroig. Interesting. I'm not getting a whole bunch off the nose like I normally do. Are you? Is it just me? Maybe I'm going numb a little bit.
No, I definitely have the peat.
Yeah. It's not as big as I thought it was going to be. I thought it would blow me away just because it's got that, from what I can remember, the huge peat smell. Like it usually overpowers. Remember that one night you gave it to me blind and I thought,
Yeah.
oh, this is like the best scotch I've ever had. It smells so good. It tastes so peaty.
But we are coming off a great nose,
Yeah.
and we're trying to nose another one, and I don't know, it maybe just doesn't have the same, like this has a deeper, darker, slightly more intense nose, but it has, for me, it has many of the same characteristics, the peat,
Maybe
and
it
the
does.
peat
Maybe that's
smoke,
why.
and it, hey, you can only smell the other one.
Yeah, I'm going to go in with the other one here. Wow.
See, when you do them both, now the Lafroig, in some ways, actually has a more powerful nose.
Yeah, it stings a little more.
Yeah, greater intensity. Sort of less discernible flavor characteristics. More of a like intense, almost brooding smoke. Yeah, the campfire has been put out, and the charred smoke is still in the air.
Definitely. All right. Let's try this sucker.
Okay, let's give it a sip.
That's a good whiskey. Oh, a lot different. But layered down with a campfire burn. And, this is why it's going to be really interesting now, like, because that tastes really good.
Really
Like,
good.
You just had the Lagavulin. That was really good. You had this one. This is really good.
So what are you noticing in terms of a difference?
Well, it's more smoky, I guess, than peaty. I'm getting more, usually I would refer to Lafroig as being really peaty, but this one, it tastes more burnt to me.
Absolutely.
Of the peat I got out of the Lagavulin.
I find, there's, when I have the Lafroig on the tongue and when I'm working it in my mouth, it presses me more. It takes me further. It takes me to the edge more, whereas Lagavulin doesn't do that. And I like Lagavulin because it doesn't do that, and I like Lafroig because it does do that. So I'm not saying either experience is inferior to the other. It just is different, and the intensity level is greater with the Lafroig. There's sort of it's more serious, and maybe a couple notches towards the medicinal. Whereas Lagavulin never quite gets there. It dances around and does other things.
But it has a bit of it.
Yeah, it has a bit of it. There's certainly that crossover moment where the peppery, and I would even say the mouthfeel on the Lafroig is greater, meaning
Like
that
more viscosity?
a little bit.
Yeah?
A little bit, where it's just sort of a denser feel.
Would you say, or use the word that Lagavulin 16 is perhaps a little more refined?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got to go back with the Lagavulin.
Yeah. Well, and I find the Lafroig aftertaste is almost a tang. There's almost a the salt holds a little further, and it creates that's kind of the extension of the mouthfeel. It's a sort of a saltier, brinier, you know, with that charring sort of sensation going on.
Yeah.
And let's give the Lagavulin a go.
Isn't that amazing how it still holds up though?
It totally holds up, but it's playing on an octave higher. Like
Are you saying it's better?
I'm saying the Lagavulin is occupying the space in a like just a higher notation, whereas the Laphroaig has more bass. You know, the Lagavulin has a slightly higher, you know, more not soprano, but kind of like rising above and kind of floating and
Prettier?
prettier, more refined. You know, definitely dressed up more. Whereas the Laphroaig is sort of more athletic and muscular and, you know, impressive in a sort of physical sort of presence. Whereas Lagavulin has that aesthetic presence, you know, like where it's just gorgeous and beautiful.
Yeah.
And Laphroaig is grittier and tougher, but no less impressive and just as dependable in terms of quality and delivery, you know? Yeah, I mean, these are like two siblings that are remarkable family, you know, and they just have incredible characteristics that are a pleasure to be around. And we just happen to be, you know, engaging with this incredible
what a
duality.
night.
I know.
You'd be happy with either one on any night, but having them both in the same night is special.
It's special, and it's yeah, I love how when you compare whiskeys, they complement one another, and they bring out a little something in each. You know, each is doing something for the other.
Fantastic. So, I'm getting from your.
Go back to Laphroaig.
Oh, I have. I've been just taking little sips of each one.
I love that. Like I do. I feel like a salty, briny mouthfeel thing that Laphroaig has that is Lagavulin just can't get there.
It's like eating a piece of charcoal almost.
Yeah, but I think more the thick, salty water, like a briny, thick. I don't know. The peat's down in that thing. You know, it's just
charcoal that's left at a beach party.
The charcoal I find comes after. Whereas what I'm referring to is occurring on the tongue and filling the mouth in a certain way that I just absolutely love. Yeah. Yeah.
Still getting heavy charcoal.
Oh, it's amazing.
In a good way, but like you think of all these flavors, we describe the flavors using words, and not all those words. Like rarely does a word that describes how Scotch tastes is like something you would imagine eating a lot of.
Yeah.
So they're right. Like nobody would eat charcoal, but it tastes really good. It's got a very unique thing going on as far as its flavor, because it's got, you know, it's just this big chunk of burned wood, and there's something to that. It's like it's changed wood into something else. As long as it's not ash. But yeah, well, maybe even ashy, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Well, that's
Love it.
I know.
Love it.
I know.
So good.
Do we have any quotes of the night tonight?
Quote of the night.
Quote of the night, George Bernard Shaw says, "Whiskey is liquid sunshine." What do you think of that quote, Jonathan? Liquid sunshine. Whiskey is liquid sunshine. Well, what is sunshine?
Sunshine is, you could consider sunshine as everything. Could be life-giving. It could be warmth.
Right.
Could be a lot of different things. Like the sun is fairly important.
Brightness, visibility,
Yeah.
Ability to see and feel things.
Yeah.
You know, sunshine is the essence of growth, and development, and you think about plants and trees and photosynthesis and
Yeah.
the role that sunshine plays there. And you think of sunshine, perhaps liquid sunshine and whiskey being connected to a way of bringing some spirit into, the day to day. So to enjoy a dram of whiskey is to take a little break from, life and all the responsibilities that one has in life, and to just enjoy that ray of sunshine, whether it be in company or by yourself, or just as an opportunity to take a moment to consider and reflect and restore and energize in your own way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think whiskey is really good at providing a bit of strength to the soul and to the spirit and to the, just the existence of a human in this world, right? Sometimes it's tough and you're grinding away and nothing ever feels quite right, and you can have tough days, and when you have a drink and you listen to a little music and you just relax, put on your favorite television show, watch some sports, whiskey can be a ray of sunshine in that situation,
So even at nighttime, it can be a ray of sunshine.
Well, this is what I think, the darkness of winter, when things are short of, you're short of literal
substitute.
day silence. Yeah, like sometimes just having some whiskey is a nice way to prop up your spirit, as opposed to like going out for a walk in, a nice warm early July day. Well, you can't do that in December and January.
Yeah.
And if you do, you're lucky for a few hours to get out there and enjoy it. It's not like you get hours of it, So I think in that way, whiskey can be sunshine from the inside out in some ways,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're specifically talking, he's specifically talking about the sun as liquid sun, but I'd like to take it even a step further and say it's just a part of nature.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a liquid. It's somehow enjoying nature as in liquid form, although, the sea, which is clearly in both of these scotches, is liquid already.
Yeah, but you're not drinking seawater.
But like liquid peat.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know,
The
liquid
essence,
kelp.
the essence of peat, the essence of the sea spray and the whatever it is that, being that close to the ocean and, what that invites into it, and all those items that, exist within a particular terroir around a distillery. Each of them, what they hold in common is that they're related to nature. Wood comes from trees. Water comes from, whether they're glaciers or what have you. It's just the system of weather that exists around us. The peat comes from the ground. The barley also grows in the ground and becomes, a simple plant that can easily be malted. These things are natural, and when they all come together after distillation and after being put in their barrels, they are the essence of the nature that surrounds these places in Scotland. So, in that way, it's sort of another type of liquid sunshine, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like liquid nature.
That's what I'm getting at.
No, I think your point is well taken.
Yeah, and that's one of the beautiful things about Scotch. Like, if you study each distillery to see exactly where they pulled all their elements together to make what they make, that'd be an interesting study.
Well, yeah. I think that notion of terroir is a really important one. That why, and I think these two whiskeys make a really good comparison, because they aren't just comparable in terms of quality. I mean, their geography is completely comparable. They exist
like
within
stone's throw away.
Yeah, just a few kilometers from one another, right?
I'm not even sure it's that.
Yeah. Well, and Ardbeg is quite close to this group of whiskeys too, or that make up that group of whiskeys on the southeast of Islay.
Mm-hmm.
So in this sense, it's terroir becomes really important in thinking about Laphroaig and Lagavulin, and what natural components they draw from their particular microclimates that allow them to be the whiskeys that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. So I know we're still kind of on quote of the night, but I did want to put you in a difficult situation.
A difficult situation.
A difficult situation.
Okay. I'm prepared.
They're the same price. And you can only buy one.
If they were the same price?
If they were the exact same price and you only had enough money for one bottle.
Wow.
Which one are you buying?
Wow. Could I predicate it on whether or not... I think it might depend on the situation I was heading into. Does that make any sense? I think I could see myself wanting Lafroig 10 in
a different situation,
in certain setting, whereas Lagavulin 16.
No, I'm going to say no to that because that's not part of the game. The part of the game is it doesn't matter where you are. I want to just say you have to pick. You're you're giving yourself outs. And you know what? You could say, I don't want to make that decision. If you want to cheap out and and not make the call, that's okay too.
Yeah.
But I want you to make a decision. Which one do you have to buy?
But what's the price then?
I'm saying the price is the same.
I know that, but give me a price that they're both at.
What does that matter?
I don't know.
You only have that amount. It doesn't matter.
Right, so the amount doesn't matter. It could be 150, it could be 80. It doesn't matter.
And there's only 2 bottles of liquor.
The point is
you
have 80 and they're both worth the same amount and you can walk out with whatever. Okay, fine.
Okay.
You ready for my answer?
I am. Okay. Yes.
I'm buying them both. Doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't work that way. Quit
Did
trying
I say
to
you could buy them both? That was not part of the rules. Why are you going there? It's the same thing. Well, if it was a different time zone, and if I was on the beach versus in a high rise having, you can't do that.
I was thinking Lafroig would be better.
I don't care.
Okay. Here, I can answer the question, I suppose. I can answer the question.
Okay, you can
I'm
answer.
not happy about this.
I know. That's why I wanted to put you in a tough situation.
Okay. There are 2 or 3 situations where I could see myself wanting Lafroig more than Lagavulin.
All right.
But whereas...
So do I have to pick a place for you to be?
Hold on, no. I can give you your answer.
All right.
I'm just not happy about it.
I know. You're just giving yourself some outs.
Maybe... The reason why I would choose Lagavulin 16 over Lafroig 10 is because it's a more flexible whiskey. It's applicable to, first of all, I think more people within, they'd be willing to try a whiskey like this would probably prefer it, first of all, which I'm not saying that means it's better and that I want it more, but it might mean that I could share it with more people in more situations. The other thing is, I think I could drink Lagavulin 16 in more actual contexts. Then Lafroig 10 is more specific drinking.
Okay, give me a specific example where you drink Lafroig where Lafroig is going to be better than Lagavulin.
I would say if I needed to if I was a little bit wet and damp somewhere, you know what I mean, I needed a true spirit pick me up, where I really...
You're trying to get me to sympathize with you now, is this situation I had a broken leg and I was
not
walking home.
No, I'm just thinking
from a mountain.
If it were if you were somewhere in the cabin was you can only get it so warm and you whatever, I would take Lafroig 10 over the Lagavulin 16. Although the Lagavulin 16 would still be...
That's what I'm saying.
Really useful.
It would still be good too, right? You're not going to be
it might just have an edge in those.
So this is sort of something you take, the Lafroig 10 would be something you take before you're getting some kind of hacksaw operation.
How?
It's going to be more comforting and numbing to you. You want to take away the cold. You want to take away some of that.
Yeah, it has more intensity
discomfort.
and strength that gets on it really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. but not so much though that the Lagavulin couldn't do that job. I think the Lagavulin has. If it were equivalent in price, I would take the Lagavulin.
Yeah. But it's not. And
but
it's
not,
the question,
and that's a huge difference maker because, I will always have both of these whiskeys at the bar, but I can drink Lafroig more often.
Bottom line, right there.
Because I don't feel as guilty tapping it.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly it. And that's why there's probably a little more love there too. But I still think Carlos's,
the tuxedo.
The tuxedo. It still works for me.
Yeah.
It always comes to my mind. Wow. What a night, Gordy.
Yes, what a good night.
Those are so good.
It's a liquid sunshine night.
I would recommend this to anybody. If you've got, let's see, in Canada, you're going to pay about $200 for this setup. More than that.
For what? For
$200 if you're going to buy both of these. If you're going to have a night with a couple of your buddies.
Oh, you're looking at...
And they all love Scotch. They have to love
more
Scotch.
More like 240.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. Just for a liter and a half of whiskey.
Tough. But if you're on a trip, Lagavulin 16.
Yeah,
Holds
Lagavulin-
up.
Yeah, it's true because when you go to Hawaii, you don't buy Lafroig 10.
I did though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we had a bottle of Lagavulin and Lafroig there, and I'm not gonna lie to you, that was beautiful. I'm like satellite bar.
Well, and who makes that decision? Like that Lagavulin is going to be this price and Lafroig is going to be this price. I mean, the whole thing drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so frustrating. Everything is so expensive.
Well, I think Lagavulin has to charge more because they make less. They just don't produce quite as much, and they don't have as many different varieties.
That's true.
And Lafroig does.
Well, they have 3 in the stable now all the time, right? The 8, the 12, and the 16.
Yeah, and I know
And then
there's
they have a DE, a distillery edition, and then
which is really
You've
good.
had a 20.
I bought the 25 right at the distillery.
25, yes.
Went and splurged there,
Yeah,
but I had to do it. You know, you do the same.
of course.
Like, I'm gonna get something that you can't get pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, you're bringing home a prize.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
what to look forward to then?
fantastic night. Yeah, what to look forward to.
Happy
Right.
New Year. What's coming next? You
What
remember?
is coming next? The next one is Robert Burns.
What is it?
Yeah, according to this,
Wow.
we have Robert Burns coming in right after the Lagavulin 16.
Wow.
So that'll be fun.
We
We're
have to
gonna
do some preparation for that.
get a
What's
tam
good-
or something.
You get a tam? Get a tam for sure. And read some poetry that night.
And maybe we should hire a bagpiper.
Yeah.
Play the Wee Dram song.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that was enjoyable to say the least.
Oh, it was really fun to do, like 2 big guns back to back.
Boom and boom.
Can't, yeah. Good night all around.
Excellent. All right. Well,
right.
until the great poet Robbie Burns coming up, we'll see you soon in a fortnight, I suppose.
Yeah, in a fortnight to
Or
Robbie
this week.
Burns.
And look forward to a short, because you're probably going to get one of those. I look out like this in audience stuff.
There they are.
I love that.
So,
Like, I'm actually
picture
impressed.
hanging on a
These
wall and a
4
lava
guys.
lamp.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
we're talking to you. All right.
All right, to Robbie Burns
Robbie,
and the Wee Dram.
Wee Dram.
Wee Dram.
Wee Dram.
Wee Dram.
Dram it up.
It's
not gonna do it.
It
No,
might. It
stop
might.
that.
It might.
Okay,
Just
all right.
energy-wise.
No,
let's
this is
just
weird, though.
one quick. It is weird.
What are you gonna do? This is it. He's getting what he wants.
Poke.
No, I don't want to be poked.